Alright, welcome to yet another Clay Carlino live stream where I'm working on my MAME cabinet. And this is a little bit of a test live scream. What am I doing? Thinking of Starscream? Yes, this is Starscream, the live stream. I'm going to take over the Decepticons! That's my best Starscream, and I apologize to everyone for that. But, nonetheless, this is not a live scream, this is a live stream. I'm working on my MAME cabinet again. However, I'm also testing my brand new webcam, which hopefully will resolve all the sound issues that I've had in the past. That's been, you know, kind of annoying. But I think things are working. So that's a plus. I mean, I can see on my screen that the microphone thing is jumping up and down, and I'm not seeing a bunch of background noise jumping around. So it's been a while since I've done a live stream, and that's because I've been running around a lot. I got to spend a week in Riviera Maya in Mexico, and it was gorgeous. It was just gorgeous, and I've actually posted a couple of the videos that I took there. I'm planning on posting a couple more. So if you like videos of fish and turtles and beautiful scenery, then you can look forward to that. Also, I got to go to New York. I didn't do any videos about that. It was a work thing. And I was sick the whole time I was there, and yeah, I was sick before I went, and then I went through the New York airport, and I think it was John F. Kennedy. Yeah, I think that was the one. And I don't think that really made anything better. I hope I didn't make other travelers sick. What are you going to do? And then I had to, of course, go back through the airport just to come home. So, you know, that was like 2 weeks that I was away from the mighty metropolis of Pittsburgh. It's good to be back, although I do miss the tropical weather. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. I mean, just let me take a moment to talk to you for a moment. Riviera Maya is gorgeous. And I'm not talking about Cancun. Cancun is like up here, and Riviera Maya is down here. And Cancun is where all the hotels are, and if you want to experience spring break, then that's Cancun. I'm an old fart. Okay, I don't need to experience spring break. Actually, I never really experienced spring break. I didn't. I just never did that, you know, and I know this comes as a shock because I come off as being such an outgoing and popular guy, but I'm actually kind of a nerd. I know, it's a shock, and I didn't do a heavy amount of socializing and just about no partying at all. So yeah, I always missed out on the whole spring break experience. Nonetheless, so you go further south and you end up in Riviera Maya, and we stayed at an all-inclusive resort. And I understand if you're looking for an authentic cultural experience where you really get immersed in the culture of another country, this is not the way to do it. This was totally 100% tourist heaven, but the nice thing is that it's not nearly as crowded and populated as Cancun, or even a lot of other vacation spots. I mean, there are certainly people there, and it was busy, but you know, we went during the off season, and so that saved money, and there's just not as, you know, it's nice. It's just so nice, you know. There's room on the beach, and you can relax, and it's relatively quiet, and oh my gosh, it was so nice. And we got to do some excursions. As if you watched my videos, plug, you see that I discovered the wonderful world of snorkeling. I never understood snorkeling before. You know, I just didn't get the allure, because it's like, okay, so what? I've got my face in the water. Why? Well, let me tell you. When you're in an area, not like, I mean, here in Pittsburgh, we do have water, we have the rivers, but you know, they're silty and brown, and you know, you put on a pair of goggles and what you see is lots of river bottom and other stuff. You know, I've been in the Allegheny River before, and I'll do it again. And you know what? In the summertime, it's great, but I would recommend showering afterwards. And you know, maybe Ashy Slashy, you get out of here! Get out of here! Get! What are you? You handing me stuff? Oh, I'm getting chat messages. Well, then how come my chat messages aren't showing up? Because you can see my window. It's... Oh, wow. Well, I apologize to the people who have been sending me chat messages. You can see that, that they're not showing up on the window here, which is weird. I wonder what I need to do. Let me try this. You know, I don't think that this is a me problem. I feel like this is a YouTube problem. Because, wonder if, let's see. I've got other messages here. Okay. Check your live. Yeah. Okay. Nathan Fillion, surprisingly enough, is online. And here's the thing. I've got my live chat open. I mean, you can see it right here. It's right there, but it's not showing anything. Let me see. Hold on while I do some technical stuff. I'm going to try. Let's see. I'm going to try closing this window. And let's go to live chat control. Do I have a live chat control? Stream. See, okay, I'm just going to show a little bit here, maybe. So you can see that this says streaming beta on it. I didn't say I wanted the beta version of streaming, you know, the buggy version where things don't work right. I've been using the, I don't understand. Okay, so let's go here, and we're going to reduce the font size so that I can actually see what's in my window. And I'm going to click on this stream. Oh, there's a live dashboard. So there's a dashboard, and there's the chop. Oh, there. Okay, I have. Okay, now this is good. This is progress. Pop out chat. Bam. And this actually shows everything. Oh, hey. It is not a clay problem, Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion is telling me that this is a clay problem. Okay. So we're going to, all right, and now we go to the streaming software, and we hit the properties, and we go right there and click OK, and bam! Woo! Yeah! We've got streamy stuff. Okay, so now let's make the text large enough for everybody to be able to read it. And Yeah. How's that look? Huh? And I'll scroll down to the bottom. Am I sure about what? What? This is working. Nathan Fillion, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and now if I can, I'm trying to make a few little adjustments here. Bam. Okay. You should make me a mod in your chat. It gets mad when I type too much. Honey, I don't even know how to make this chat work without technical glitches, and you want me to make you a mod? Oh, make you a moderator. Ah, well, okay. Well, sure. I hereby make you a moderator. I don't know. I could... Let's see. Manage moderators. Okay. And paste moderators. Okay, this looks complicated, so I'm not going to do it right now. But like, click my username and see if it gives you permission. Okay, I will click your username and see if it gives you permission. Oh wait, there's like a little... Okay. Oh, add moderator. Hey! Well, that wasn't so hard. Okay, so Monica, all right. Yeah. Things are moving. So, getting back to the point of this live stream, you know, some of it was to wax nostalgic about how gorgeous Riviera Maya is, and you know, for Monica and I, this was, you know, the first time that we've... No, you can't ban everyone. And as much as I know that we want to, don't ban Nathan Fillion. He's one of the only people that actually watches these things. So, hi Nate. Are you in Mexico yet? Huh, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Riviera Maya, and yes, granted, I've already thanked Mr. Fillion in private, but let me say on the internet, because by having it on the internet, that makes it true. Thank you, Nathan, for all your help with the vacation. We never would have found anything like this and done any of the things that we did without your encouragement and your guidance through the somewhat confusing process of booking a vacation like that and figuring out the best prices and stuff like that. So you're actually at the... Well, now wait a minute. I have it on good authority that you have no network coverage whatsoever there. Fortunately, nobody from work watches my live streams. Only a few people at work actually watch my my regular channel, but the live streams, they don't touch because they go on forever. And it's mostly just me looking at the camera and talking, and they get enough of that at work. Ha! So, updates. We really did, and you know, the only good thing about not being able to get together previously, you know, like where we could all like share stuff, is that now when we get together, you guys will have recent photos and videos and stuff to talk about too. So that's going to be great. Oops, only for you. Wait, no, I don't understand that comment, but okay. So, and by the way, Mr. Fillion, I will be looking forward to that picture that you're going to have Connie take of you in the lounge chair in the pool, so that we can find out just how blind the security guard was. And I'm not going to tell that story online, so you're just going to have to guess about what the heck I'm talking about. So, other things. So obviously, new webcam. That's a plus. Things seem to be working. That makes me very, very happy. You know, the old camera was working. And I don't know why it just stopped. And here's the thing. The other camera, I used it all through vacation. It still has sound. It still records beautifully. But for whatever reason, my computer no longer will take sound off of that camera when it's used as a webcam. It just won't do it. So that's annoying. Here's another little personal update. People who know me personally, yes, thank you. People who know me personally know that I get a lot of acid indigestion and heartburn and reflux, and I always have. And, you know, I could say that it's hereditary because my father had lots of stomach problems too. But, you know what? My father and I have other things in common other than just our genetics, and that is that we both had shitty-ass diets. And I still have a kind of a shitty-ass diet. And, you know, I love food that's bad for me. I love stuff that's high in grease and calories. And, oh, that's my air compressor. That sounds great. Let me fix that. Oh, bye, Nathan. Say hi to Connie for me. So... Alright, well, sorry, you know, industrial-sized air compressor in the next room, and it's pretty loud, so I turned that off. So, anyway, I do have a lot of acid reflux, and I think it's mostly my fault. You know, I don't think that I just have a terrible digestive tract. I think that I'm terrible to my digestive tract. You know, I drink a lot of soda, eat a lot of sugar, a lot of grease. I eat too much when I'm eating. It's not rocket science. And my friend Laura asked me if I went to the doctor, and I've gone to the doctor in the past, and I've got a prescription for omeprazole, which is just another word for Prilosec or Prevacid, and I've been on that for a while, but when I got sick after going on vacation, you know, when I was in New York actually, my reflux just went out of control, and the omeprazole wouldn't touch it, Pepcid AC wouldn't touch it, Zantac wouldn't touch it. I just had this unceasing burning right in my gullet and painful gastrointestinal whatever for several days, and now my throat feels like it's burnt. You know, it feels damaged. It is sore, and so I have put myself on a bland diet, and you know, like I was mentioning, my friend Laura asked me if I went to see a doctor recently about, you know, since this happened, and I didn't, just because I know what the problem is. You know, the doctor isn't going to tell me anything that I don't already know. They might tell me the degree to the damage. You know, they might arrange tests and I might have to pay lots of money, but what they're going to tell me after they get all of that useful data is you have to change your diet, and you should probably exercise, and you have to go on a bland diet. So I'm cutting out the middleman. I'm on a bland diet. So now, instead of having my nice Coke Zeros, which are filled with carbonation and caffeine, I made myself a jug of green tea. It kind of looks like pee, but I promise you it's not pee, because I imagine that pee probably tastes saltier than this does. I don't know. I don't really know what pee tastes like. And you know what? I have no desire to find out. But nonetheless, so I'm drinking the green tea. I put a little bit of artificial sweetener and some honey in here, just to add, because you know there's not a whole lot to it, but nonetheless it's a little bit more palatable than just drinking straight water. And actually, I think that it's a little bit easier when they're on the stomach, because I've noticed a lot of times when I have just straight water that actually that's not nearly as soothing as if I have something that has a little bit of something in it. I'm drinking skim milk now. I mean, oh, skim milk, it's I was raised on whole milk, and I made a big transition to 2%, and that's where I've been for probably the last couple decades. But skim, ugh. I'm drinking it. I'm getting used to it, you know. And maybe by doing this, I can adjust my palate a little bit and get to the point where maybe I'm not quite as cravey for the stuff that's bad for me, like, you know, the things that are high in fat and grease and salt and caffeine and carbonation and sugar and all that stuff. And you know, I'm just reaching an age where I have to be a little bit more careful about that stuff, which is no fun at all. So that's when you see me drinking a jug that looks like pee. Just so you know, it's not pee, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't even taste like pee. So MAME cabinet. You want updates on the MAME cabinet? MAME cabinet is really, really close. So here, just to give you an idea, we've got. So these are the side panels, which I don't know if in the last time that I live streamed these were cut out yet, but if you notice, these have a new shape to them. You know, I've done a lot of. I cut it to have this shape here, and you know, that makes the bottom a little bit more narrow. And I've added the supports to the inside, and see all of that. Here, put this down. So all of this stuff where I've created these supports in advance and I've attached them to the inside are also that this time around I don't have to do any screwing through the outside panels of the cabinet. One of the other things that I did, I'll bring this closer. So this is the panel that I had painted, and oh, good. So okay, good. We've got good video quality and good audio quality. So says our new moderator. So thank you, moderator. So anyway, I hand painted this years ago the first time I built this cabinet, and I really didn't want to lose that. It took a lot of work, and I'm kind of proud of it. You know, I'm sure that somebody else can look at it and say, I could have done better, and I'm sure that you could have, but you know, I'm very happy with it. But because of the fact that the old version of the MAME cabinet had screws holding everything together that went right through this panel, there are a whole bunch of screw holes, and I have now filled those in with wood filler and sanded them, except that, here, let me put this down, there. So right up here, I had to make a change up here, and I ended up accidentally drilling all the way through, so I had another hole that I need to sand. And because I've been working on this side, there's some paint stuff, but you know, I need to touch that up anyway, which I'll probably be doing very shortly. So that is done, or that's in process. I've also got, every part of this cabinet is heavy, by the way. So this is the new base for the cabinet, and you can see that, well, maybe you can see. Okay, so, yeah, right here, move this way. All right, so you see I've got these, gosh, all right, so I've got wheels. Let's try and get this in the camera's view. There we go. Okay, so I've got wheels. These are for the back, and then I've got feet in the front. These are anti-skid feet, which should make it a lot easier to move the cabinet around and not have any terrible accidents like the first live stream that I did for this project. This would be a great place if I just had that clip to insert it into the live stream, and then we could all be horrified. But since I'm not that technically savvy, and I don't have another person running my video feeds and stuff like that, then you're just going to have to imagine that happening right now. See, that's my reaction to the MAME cabinet falling over, you know. But yeah, this is a nice solid base, and the MAME cabinet will be attached to this, and that's going to make it hopefully very stable. I made some slight changes to my original design. Originally on, here, we'll get this back out. So, try and make this so you can see it. Okay, you can see it when I angle it this way. So originally, I had a little support here for the Marquis. And then after everything was together, I made another support, which I put in here, and then I was going to make another support here. And by the time that I got to the one for here, I thought, well, this is stupid. Why make three sort of ugly little supports? And not that you're going to see it, but I would like for this to be a more quality build than my last one. My last one was kind of thrown together and very hacked up. You know, it was good for what I did at the time, but I'm trying to do a little bit of a higher end job. You know, take a little pride in my work. And so I realized that it would be better just to have one sort of vaguely triangular piece to support the Marquis in the front here, support the panel that goes underneath the light for the Marquis here, and then the panel for the top of the cabinet here, and do that all with one piece. So you know, I did some careful measuring. Also, something that is probably really hard for you to see. I'll really try and get closer. Maybe you can see this. So right here. Yeah, right here. So this is a separate piece. So the Marquis sign is just going to slide right down here in this channel, and then I have the panel for that, which I will show you. So this is the panel for the Marquis, and you can see that it's got just this little lip right here that so that the Marquis sign will go right behind there. Maybe I can get my here. So this is the acrylic, and at some point this is still the old poster board. What I need to do is make a new one. I would love to get a different material than the poster board. The poster board, when you put light behind it, makes kind of a yellow cast, and if I could get something that was more of a plastic, then it would make a nice, it would look more white, and I think that that would be more attractive. But for right now, poster board is going to be fine, but this poster board is old and yellowing, which is only making that effect worse. I have some newer poster board, so that'll at least make it look a little bit cleaner than this one. But this will go down, and then the bottom edge will be behind that rib, just like that. So yeah, that's going to be good. I also bought a light. So this is a light that I got at Ollie's, and at the time that I got it, I thought it was a plug-in light, just sort of like the kinds of things that I have up here, but you see, look at that array. Okay, that's gorgeous, and it is. I mean, it's like the perfect size for this cabinet, but it's a battery-powered light. It's a rechargeable battery-powered light. It's actually a really cool thing. I like it, and probably very useful when the power's out, but that's not what I want. I want something that when I turn on my cabinet, it just lights up. I don't want like a separate thing where I have to turn on a separate switch, or every now and then I have to recharge the batteries. I don't want any of that. I want to wire it in, and it goes on and off. So I am probably going to end up hacking into this, and I don't think that I'm even going to show the video for that, because in the video series, that when I finally do take all of this footage that I'm taking of this whole process and turn it into bite-sized chunks that you can watch on YouTube at about 6 minutes per clip, people aren't tuning in to see me hack into a light and use it in a way that it's not intended. It'd be just as easy to go out and buy a different light that's already electric and just put it in. Not that this isn't electric, but what I mean is AC powered versus battery power, which is DC, and having to go in and futz with things. So yeah, that's something that will end up that I'll just probably end up doing privately, and nobody will ever see it unless I'm live streaming at the time that I start doing it, and then you guys get to see it. But I feel like that's something that's going to come after the cabinet is actually together and able to play video games. So, yeah. Priorities. So, light. Anyway, Ollie's. This was like 13 bucks. So not a bad investment, even if I have to kind of futz with it. I should have looked a little bit more closely, but you know what, I just that array, and this is just so perfect for what I want in terms of the arrangement of the lights and the length and the narrow width. I mean, it was so good. Ugh. So that's why I'm kind of compelled to just make this work rather than taking it back and getting some other kind of tube light or something like that. So there is reasons for the stupid stuff that I do. I'm not saying that they're great reasons, but there are reasons. So so that's where we're at. The next thing that I need to do for the cabinet is I need to cut out the panel that goes on top. And so I'm cutting that to 10¼ inches wide by 24 inches long. I mean, actually, I guess it's 24 inches wide by 10¼ inches deep. And I'm cutting that out of some of the MDF that that I used on the original cabinet, which you can see I've still got the speakers from the original cabinet. And you know, I'd put cloth in there. I mean, you know, from the inside, this actually looked okay. But nonetheless, that's going away. So, oh, are you getting a lot of lag? When you say lag, are you getting lag between the audio and the video? Or is it just kind of hanging up every now and then? We'll find out. You know, question. But you can see, because, you know, see, just so that you know, because the screen isn't mirrored, in order to point at the window on this side, I have to point away from it. So when you see me go, oh, yeah, Monica said something over here, and then you see me go like this, that's because it's not really over here. Right now, I'm pointing at my drill press. And hanging up and stuttering, huh. I don't think that I can fix that. You know what? It could be because I'm streaming and you're watching, so, you know, I'm streaming out and you're streaming in at the same time. That could be why. If there's anybody else out there watching right now, if you could weigh in and just give me a comment to see if the video feed is choppy or if things are relatively smooth, at least in comparison to other things that you stream and watch. I'm not sure anybody else is watching, but you know, still, if you are, and you know this is live, then let us know, because I want to create a better live stream, and if there's things that I can do to make my live streams better and more enjoyable to watch, then I want to do them. But anyway, so don't need this whole panel anymore, so I'm going to cut out from this what I need to be on the top of the cabinet, and I'm going to do that right now. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition this just a little bit. Aim it down. Okay, you can actually see my work table now. Good. And so here's just a little, this is a little clay-ism here. Excuse me. When I talk this much, my throat gets very dry. So, obviously, I could cut this with a circular saw. But I want to get a really nice, nice straight line. And certainly, a circular saw will give you a straight line, you know, at least mostly straight. But if you want to get a really straight line with a circular saw, then it's great to use a track saw. I don't have a track saw. Now, there are kits that you can buy to convert a circular saw into a track saw, which Mr. Fillion has one that is fantastic. I love it. But I don't have one, and I don't want to buy one And actually, I do have a method when cutting through a piece of fiberboard like this, especially this thin, then I do things a little bit differently, and I'm going to show you what I do because I think that it's a pretty reasonable solution. I have a T-square here. If you didn't go to art school, then but you kind of build stuff, you might have something like this, which, you know, really any straight edge will work. But I'm using a T-square. And let's see, I already put down a couple marks. I'm just going to double check the measurements here. Measure twice, cut once. So, yeah, that is correct. And that is correct. So, but it's really close to the speaker, so I'm going to flip this around. Alright. So, I am going to cut this with a utility blade rather than using a saw. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to have a lot more control with this utility blade than I would with a circular saw. So, and yeah, you know, in some ways it takes longer to get through it, but it takes far less time to set it up, because if I were going to use a circular saw, I would need to set up a guide in order to get a straight cut. That's something else. Since I don't have a track saw, what I've been doing to get straight cuts like the ones that you see on the top of the cabinet and on the front, the way that I got those cuts was I actually screwed here. So I got these 1x2s, and this is the choice lumber at Home Depot. You know, this isn't the normal twisty turny stuff. This is the select stuff that is more expensive. And I got a bunch of these things to use with the cabinet here. And so I screwed a couple of these into the surface here, and then I would be able to cut that way and make sure that the saw gave me a nice straight line. And I just don't want to do all that. It's kind of a pain in the butt to set all that up when I can just put down, you know, measure it out, put in a couple marks, line up my ruler with the marks on both the top and the bottom, and then score. And I'm just going to score this a bunch of times, just like this. This is a relatively fresh blade. You know why you always use a fresh blade, don't you? Anybody? Anybody? I know it's just you, honey. But a fresh blade is safer than a dull blade, because when you use a dull blade, you have less control. You tend to push harder, and then when your material gives out, you slip, and then you stab yourself. And I've got a scar right here, which I'm not going to show you, but it's there. Just trust me, from a time that I did exactly that. So yeah, use a fresh blade. And I'm just going over this a bunch of times. Now here's something that I do. I'm not going to say that this is a recommendation, because maybe it's not the best thing to do, but I find that it works well for me. So I'm just going to show you. Now, this is not safe. So don't do this and then cut yourself, and then, well, just don't do this and don't cut yourself. But I'm going to show you that I do it because I like to show people some of the bad things that I do. I don't know. I'm going to hold it this way. Now, the blade is right here, okay? That's the sharp part. So when I do this, I have to be very careful that my finger doesn't slip down because I'm going to be pressing from here. And then I'm going to take the blade and I'm going to drag it backwards through the cut. And by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm actually, rather than just slicing, rather than just slicing into the material and kind of forcing it apart this way, that scrapes that channel and actually widens it. Okay, so that actually gets rid of this stuff and makes it easier to cut. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, and then I'll flip the blade around again and cut more, and then I'll drag and scrape more. So that's me doing this. And if somebody gets online and comments to this video and says that this is terrible advice and nobody should do it, I agree. I'm not going to argue with you, okay? I'm not saying that this is a smart thing to do, but I'm just showing you something that I do. Never said that I'm a role model. So at this point, I might actually be able to bend this a little bit and open up that gap. Now, I've got this plank right here. It's actually a piece of laminate flooring that one of the leftovers from when we did that ceiling video way back when. Which, thank you to everybody who has watched that video. That's turned out to be one of my most popular videos, so thank you everyone who has clicked on that video. And if you haven't clicked on it, check it out. My friend Don's in there, and I'm sure that he's the reason why that video has become so popular, because he's far more entertaining than I am. But he doesn't have his own YouTube channel. He has commented on that. We've had conversations about that, and he said, well, you know, it seems like producing the videos is a lot of work. Yeah, it is. So, anyway, so I've got the plank, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up the side that I want to keep behind this, so that when it tears on the scrap side. So, got this lined up. There we go. And I am lining up that edge perfectly with the edge of that plank. And then, oh yeah. Yeah, that's great. Now, I'll just cut it the rest of the way off. And actually, what I'm going to do, there we go. I'm going to flip this over. You saw me poke those little holes through right at the crease. So now what I can do is I can line my ruler up with those holes. My straight edge. It's not a ruler, it's a straight edge. My geometry teacher from high school is probably just cringing right now because I referred to a straight edge as a ruler. That was the thing. Did anybody else ever have that when they were in, whenever they were in high school and geometry class? You know, the teacher that was kind of militant about the difference between a ruler and a straight edge. Yeah, mine was. So there we go. All right, so this can go away. And now this, I'm just going to clean up that edge a little bit. There. Look at that. Look at that. That's just a chip in the paint. It's not actually a but so a nice clean cut and a nice straight line. So that's awesome. And now I'm going to do a little sanding. Taking off the hat. Getting warm. This piece has a little bit of this edge here that I glued on way back when and I'm keeping it because I kind of like it. Yeah, okay. So at this point, it is distinctly possible that no one is watching this live stream. So if you're not watching this live stream, send me a message just to let me know. Ha! All right, so this piece will end up going, let's just show right here. Okay, so this is going to end up going right on there like that. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. I'm very happy with that. I might actually have to trim it down just a little bit. It looks like if you look at where it's coming out, there's not a whole room for the Marquis to slide down, so I might have to trim it. Oh well. All right, well, I'm going to continue working on this stuff, but seeing as how there's not a whole lot going on today, there's not a lot of people watching, and it seems like, yeah, I've already addressed a lot of the things that I wanted to address anyway, then I think I'm going to close things down for now. That being said, I want to play with this a little bit more, and I thought, you know, I'm a big superhero fan. You know, I always have been when I was a kid. I loved Spider-Man and Batman, and you know, I remember Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Iceman and Firestar, and that was one of my favorite shows. So, you know, there were two things that I loved when I was a kid: Transformers and superheroes, and you know, one of them have had some really great movies. I hate you, Michael Bay. Anyway, so Infinity War, or Avengers. Yeah, wait, no, Infinity War was the last one. What's the new one called? Isn't that terrible? Avengers is coming out soon. And I really want to watch I really want to watch Infinity War again, you know, kind of in preparation of the new Avengers movie. So I may try live streaming that this week, and so keep your eyes open, because if at all possible, I would really like to get that. And you know, here's my thought, because I know that there's copyright issues. I'm going to try to live stream me watching that and see how long it takes to get taken down. So join me this week to see a live stream of me watching Infinity War, and it's going to be awesome until they stop it. So, and then it will only be awesome for me because I'll still be watching the movie. So, that being said, it's Clay Carlino showing you that you do not need to be afraid to go out and buy a cheap webcam and hook it up to your Linux laptop and be able to live stream videos about building a MAME cabinet. This is Clay Carlino telling you to be brave. Yay!